When I came here in 1999, 98, 99, it was Sodexho that was the food service provider. They eventually later became Sodexho Marriott. They had a complete monopoly on all food services on campus. If you had an event, you had a speaker come, you wanted to provide them water, you had to order the water through Sodexho to make sure that it was, so you had to pay like $15 or something to have water for the guests that you had on the stage in the H110 or whatever. So you couldn't have a bake sale if you were a student organization without using expensive Sodexho products and then charging even more for them. And of course there was this organization called the People's Potato that wanted to serve pay-as-you-can food to serve to students, really cheap, healthy food. They couldn't do it on campus because of this monopoly agreement. There was a lot of problems with Sodexo, not just the monopoly, but also just this corporation that people hated for a lot of reasons. And you know, because they were involved in the prison industrial complex. They had contracts with the private prison industry. They had contracts with the refugee detention centers and serving occupying armies, the U.S. armies overseas, and it was just not a nice corporation to be dealing with. And so, you know, the Link wrote exposés on it. They invited a speaker to come and from an anti-Sodexo campaign, and there was really a lot of anti-Sodexo feeling on campus. So it was really, nobody was really surprised when they did the next, they called the next call for proposals, and they had another, they chose another food service provider. There was not a big surprise. It was not a big surprise to anybody when okay, it's not Sodexo this time. It's a new corporation. So people were kind of, yay, we got rid of Sodexo, and like, well, now we have Chartwells. Well, Chartwells is another multinational corporation that has similar kind of contracts with you know, prisons and so on. It's not really any different, and the services they provide are not any better. And more corporate food is being served on campus. They increased the level of corporate involvement on campus by, now we have these Tim Hortons kiosks and whatnot on campus. So it's not, you know, things didn't really change that way. And to make matters worse, the employees that had been working in the kitchen, sharing the kitchen with People's Potato, these Sodexo employees, they were unionized with the Teamsters, and their collective agreement had given them some conditions that were better than a lot of conditions that exist in the food industry generally. Like, mostly you go into the fast food industry, you're making minimum wage. Well, these employees had better than that. They actually had a fairly reasonable contract for and reasonable hourly wages, and they lost all that when Sodexo was gone. Chartwell said, hey, you can work for us, but it's not the same contract, it's not a collective agreement, your union is gone, and now you can work for us. We'll pay you what we consider to be a fair wage, which is, of course, minimum wage. So there's no way you could support a family on that. So all these long-time employees and the people at People's Potato were just, they were going crazy over this. They shared this kitchen with these people, and they knew them, and they were really upset about it. And they tried to, I remember going and talking to them in the kitchen and like just seeing them in tears. It was a really sad situation, and we tried to organize and fight for these people's rights, but a contract is a contract, and there was not that was a really bitter pill to swallow to get rid of Sodexo, for sure. And yeah, as I said, I don't think things have really improved with Chartwells.